Marriage is a commitment between two people to share their lives with each other. But what happens when one person wants something more? This is the story of a man who begged his wife for an open marriage, only to realize that he wasn't ready for the consequences of his actions. John and Sarah had been married for 5 years when John first broached the subject of an open marriage. He had been feeling restless and unfulfilled in their relationship and thought that seeing other people might help him find what he was missing. Sarah was initially hesitant, but eventually agreed to give it a try. At first, things seemed to be going well. John started dating other women, and Sarah began seeing other men. They would share their experiences with each other and even occasionally invite their partners over for dinner or a movie. It felt like they were both getting what they wanted out of the arrangement. But as time went on, John began to realize that he wasn't as comfortable with the situation as he thought he would be. He started feeling jealous when Sarah went out with other men, and he found himself comparing himself to her partners. He also began to feel guilty about the impact their arrangement was having on their relationship. Despite these feelings, John kept up the open marriage for several months, hoping that things would get better. But they didn't. He became increasingly unhappy and started to feel like he was losing Sarah. He had begged her for this arrangement, and now he was regretting it. One night, John came home from a date with a woman he had been seeing and found Sarah crying on the couch. She had just returned from a date with one of her partners, and the experience had left her feeling empty and alone. She told John that she didn't want to see anyone else and that she just wanted to be with him. In that moment, John realized how much he had taken his wife for granted. He had begged her for an open marriage, and now he was losing her because of it. He told her that he didn't want to see anyone else either and that he just wanted to be with her. They both cried and held each other, promising to never let anything come between them again. It wasn't an easy road to recovery for John and Sarah. They had to work through a lot of trust issues and hurt feelings, but they were determined to make their marriage work. They went to couples therapy, and John worked hard to regain Sarah's trust. Eventually, they were able to rebuild their relationship and become stronger as a couple. Looking back on their experience, John realizes how foolish he was to ask for an open marriage. He thought that it would solve his problems, but it only made them worse. He learned that true happiness comes from within, and that he had everything he needed in Sarah. He also learned that love is not something to be taken lightly, and that it requires work and sacrifice. In the end, John and Sarah's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of asking for something without truly understanding what it entails. It's a reminder that love is a precious thing and that it should be cherished and protected. It's a story of loss and redemption, and of the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds.